you actually stepped in and financed the movie
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I had to pay for it, all of it, to get it made. And
How did that decision come down? Did you grapple with that decision, or was
I
it like,
did. I did. It's not my job to do that. I don't have the money to actually kind of do that without, gulping and what it might, I have to look at what it actually does to my overall security in my life. But I have done this before. I did it with dances. I did it with a documentary called 500 Nations. For whatever reason, story still drives me more than increasing my pile of money. I certainly want security in this world, but it has not been a driving force in my life. I never thought I was actually make money in my life. So the fact that I have, it's not a God I pray to, and so when I really want to do something, and no one else wants to do it, and I still feel that strongly, I manage to try to figure out some way to do it.
you have called this movie a modern look at where we're at. Now, a lot of people thought that the election of President Obama would spell a great improvement in race relations. Then we have had incidents like in Ferguson. So what happened?
Well, I think that these incidents are brought to the light of day, which is good. But I think the idea that America has a black president, I think, is remarkable, if given where this country was, 50 years ago. I think it says a lot about America. America's trying, and we have to keep trying. We have to know that our hope is not our own prejudices that are already with us as adults. It's our children, and we are moving. For a lot of us, we're not moving fast enough, and for everybody who's a victim of race, who feels like they're being, asked to step on the curb because of the color of their skin, that's shitty. And it shouldn't be happening. But we are moving. You're talking about it. I'm talking about it. The world's talking about it. There's so many people that want this idea to go away. But it lingers. Racism is a cancer in our country. And blacks are not just the only victims of it. Hispanic, Asian. And America's not the only place where it exists. But if we want to think we're the country we are, then we have to effectively fight this every day. And bringing it to the light of day, while that's uncomfortable, is a part of this process. I think he's very insightful, Chris. I think he has a really good take on things. It's an overview, but it's a really honest one. The biggest mistake in this country was, not the biggest mistake. Certainly, we wiped out Native Americans too. And immigrants and right across the board coming from Europe. We just had to have the land at the expense of the people who had been here for thousands of years. And then when you combine that with slavery, became some kind of economic engine in the South. Not all people were participating in that, but there were crazy people, and we have paid an awful price for that mistake. Wealth that was made on the backs of others, in this instance, slavery, is something that we are going to pay the price for a long time. It was but it's part of our history. And, when I made Dances with Wolves, I wasn't trying to reinvent history, and I wasn't trying to apologize for it. But to not talk about it in an honest way, that's the crime.